This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, students might be on holiday, but Hayward College is a hive of activity during its $11 million refit. Dunedin man John Doerr has returned a treasured family heirloom to its rightful owner after 50 years. And one of Cardrona's pioneer women is being remembered as a hut has been named in her honour. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Holly Buchanan. Several weeks of university holidays remain, but Hayward College in Dunedin is a hive of activity. About $11 million worth of refurbishment work on the old hospital building is being crammed into 12 weeks. But those in charge are confident everything will be finished in time when this year's students return.
Undergoing extensive renovations while the students are away, Otago University's Hayward College and the old Queen Mary Hospital's busy with contractors working as fast as they can. They've been given a window of less than 3 months to give the Hall of Residence a makeover, including 14 new rooms, seismic strengthening, a new sprinkler system and enlarging the dining room.
We're at 12 weeks to complete that work from basement to the top level, including level 5 apartment. So a huge amount of work.
Burton's impressed with the commitment of contractors to keep the project to its tight schedule.
We had Christmas Day off and Boxing Day, but other than that, the trades all worked through with significant numbers on site. So really good to see a good level of resource through the project through that period, which was often a nice time to have a break, but everyone was here mucking in. So.
Around 200 people are involved in the project, with any one day seeing up to 140 workers on site between 6 in the morning and 10 at night, with 2 8-hour shifts each day.
Typically 7 days a week. It's not compulsory for all, but there is certainly a Sunday crew that turns up in peak times where we need to hit a certain zone to get it moving.
The work's expected to continue right up until the day before students come back in just under a month. In Dunedin, The South Today.
Dunedin police are praising the initiative of 2 truck drivers who helped bring a long-lasting pursuit to an end in the early hours of this morning. Police say they were carrying out patrols on Andersons Bay Road when they noticed a suspicious vehicle which attempted to avoid them. The 32-year-old driver then took off at speed. Police engaged in a pursuit through the city and onto the southern motorway. The vehicle was brought to a stop by other vehicles which surrounded it on the motorway and slowed it down. Police say the chase lasted more than 30 minutes and covered nearly 40 kilometres. Dunedin man John Doerr says the clock has been ticking for more than 50 years to return a treasured family heirloom to its rightful owner. Now he's finally delivered, handing over a 141-year-old antique timepiece to Dunedin Railways.
It's been in his family since the 1950s, but for 71-year-old Dunedin man John Doerr, it's time to give this antique clock back to the city. Growing up, he'd always believed it once belonged to his grandfather, who'd eventually passed it on to John's father.
I had it in my crib down Harwood Way, and a freezing worker walked in, big joker, big loud bugger. "Where'd you steal the railway clock from?" he said. I said, "Don't be silly." I said, "That's me, it was my grandfather's, you know."
But he wound up asking his mother about the origin of the treasured family heirloom.
She looked a bit embarrassed and she said, I think you'll find George Fletcher and your father got that coming back from the races."
It turns out the pair relieved the clock from its home at the Caversham railway station after a few beers one Friday night on their way back from the Wingatui races. John says he was a bit flattened by the revelation, but after holding on to it for a while, resolved to hand it back. He's finally fulfilled that promise, handing it over to Dunedin Railways.
It's a lovely story of saying 65 years, it's been away and it's come back, and obviously there's not a railway station used at Caversham anymore.
The clock, made in the US in 1878, is set to be displayed in the ticket office, along with an explanation of its backstory. In Dunedin, The South Today.
Fire and Emergency New Zealand staff have attended an incident in which the driver of a camper van was briefly trapped after it rolled on State Highway 1 near Waitata yesterday. Police were called to the scene shortly before 4 p.m. Emergency services attended the scene. Police say the driver appears to have escaped major injury in the crash. No other vehicles were involved. The road was partly blocked for an hour and traffic was slowed while a clean-up took place. One of Cardrona's pioneer women is being remembered in high places. Up on the Pisa Range, a hut located right next to Bob Lee Hut has now been named the Daisy Lee.
Basking in the sun high up on the Pisa Range above Cardrona. These two huts are now officially named after the pioneer couple who started farming here almost 100 years ago. The larger cylindrical hut is named after the man whose descendants are still around.
It's named after Robert Lee, my grandfather, and he farmed this area from 1922. The hut used to exist up about 5 kilometres further up into the Dock Estate, and then as part of the tenure review process the hut came out. The Kurtleburn hut is up there now, and we brought the Bob Lee hut back down so it could have a retirement on the snow farm.
A smaller and more Spartan dwelling next to the Bob Lee hut is now being upgraded and renamed after Bob Lee's wife, Daisy.
For this winter we're going to put a fireplace in there, cooking facilities, and so the Bob Lee hut can sleep 7 and Daisy can sleep 6, and that way if you bring a group out you can combine the two together and just use them both, or if you just want to come out with a few of you, you can, you know, if it was just me and 3 friends, maybe book out the other 2 beds so you can have the hut to yourself.
Originally called Wairau Station, the area is now the cross-country ski field Snow Farm, which operates as a charitable trust. While they're busy over the winter with cross-country skiers and trekkers, they're encouraging people to consider exploring the alpine environment and unpolluted night skies over the summer.
What we'd like is for people to be coming up and enjoying the huts over the summer months, because there's still plenty to do up here. It's a great spot to access up to the Pisa Conservation Area, and as well you get the Southern Lights, which a lot of people haven't experienced, and if you're going to experience it, our huts are 2 of the best spots to come and do it from.
During summer, the Snow Farm is open to walkers, mountain bikers and even dogs with their owners. In Wanaka, for the South Today.
And still to come on the South Today, bad weather fails to dampen the spirits of the thousands of concert goers in the Gibbston Valley. And more than 170,000 New Zealanders are expected to be living with dementia by 2050. More on this after the break.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Need to rent an EFTPOS? Whether it's just a week or the whole season, maybe a pop-up store, a concert or event, Anything's POS have equipment available to suit your needs for retail and hospitality with local support. To rent, lease or buy, contact Anything's POS.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
just like it. It's something that you can see the fruits of your own labour. You put it right now, you don't have as much to do at Christmas. You come see me, Derek, in the garden department, and then we get it done right.
Welcome back. Dunedin has its first royal baby of the year with the hatching of the first royal albatross chicks at the Tairoa Head colony. A record 51 eggs were laid at Tairoa Head this season, the only mainland royal albatross breeding colony in the world. Dock Ranger Jim Watts says not all the eggs are viable, but he hopes the birds which hatch today will be the first of many. Rangers monitor the birds' nests regularly, and this morning they saw 3 chicks being tended to by a parent. Thousands have flocked to Gibston Valley near Queenstown for the 9th annual Winery Summer Concert. But most of the crowd had to wear plastic ponchos and umbrella hats in ultimately futile attempts to keep dry as the rain came down on Saturday's event. It was a far cry from last year's heatwave, but the crowd didn't seem to mind. Supertramp frontman Roger Hodgson thanked the crowd for staying as they were clearly getting drenched. Before long, he had them singing along to classics like Give a Little Bit and Breakfast in America. As well as Hodgson, fellow headliners James Rain of Australian Crawl and Mark Seymour of Hunters and Collectors delighted the crowd with a cover of Dragon's April Sun in Cuba. Grammy-nominated singer Toni Childs took fans on a journey from her classic songs through to new material. She wished everyone a happy new year, saying she hoped it would be a year of beauty and kindness. It appeared the majority of the crowd was in good spirits as police reported no major incidents. Some embraced the wet weather driving down the hill as the rain turned the grass into a mudslide. A 2017 report commissioned for Alzheimer's New Zealand predicts more than 170,000 people will have dementia by 2050. ODT health reporter Mike Houlihan sat down with Dunedin man Tom Keane, whose wife Joan is now in full-time dementia care.
She's fought it as much as she can. She's read up, she tried to keep herself busy looking at little puzzles and things like that, but now her ability to concentrate on those has diminished somewhat. And even though she does read the paper, she says, I can't read it very often. She had to get special glasses because of her eyes started to get affected by it. And basically you can't do anything more about it, and so you have to carry on with life. And so she was getting a respite. I think from about 18 months ago we started going to respite just to give me a bit of a break, as she said. It's quite nice of her. And so about October we were getting a bit titchy. So she went into respite and she said, oh well, what do you think? And I said, oh well, what do you think? So it basically came together pretty quick. And so she's now in permanent care. It was short-term memory loss for a start. But then basically just how to go about assembling life, how to organise yourself, how to cook or not cook. And so we had to step back from those things. And so basically her long-term memory is astounding for some of these people, but their short-term memory starts to fade a wee bit, and their organisation or their ability to organise themselves at times, apart from the routine stuff that they sort of pick up, starts to get mixed. And so you have mixed conversations. Oh, it's cruel, yeah. There's no question about it. No matter how far gone these people are gone, it's still going to be hard on the person who's putting them in there. Yeah, no doubt about that. I don't attach any blame to Joan.
No, of course I understand that.
Because we can't, because none of us are prepared for this.
After the break on the South Today, hundreds turn out to watch as the Highlanders beat the Otago Volts in a friendly cricket match, and what the weather has in store over the next couple of days.
It's always really satisfying when a customer comes back after doing a purchase of outdoor furniture and knowing that we've got it done right.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren, his Garador keeps his favourite right in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Need to rent an FPOS? Whether it's just a week or the whole season, maybe a pop-up store, a concert or event, Anything's POS have equipment available to suit your needs for retail and hospitality with local support. To rent, lease or buy, contact Anything's POS. Most of us have spots on our skin. That's quite normal. Finding skin cancer as early as possible is key to successful treatment. Book in for a free check of 1 to 2 moles or a comprehensive full body check with the Mole Doctor in Waverley.
Welcome back. The Highlanders have beaten the Otago Volts cricket team in a not too serious game of cricket at the University of Otago Oval on Friday. The friendly match drew about 700 spectators and was held as a fundraiser for the Dunedin Wildlife Hospital. As a half-time treat, hundreds of children got the chance to play cricket or rugby games against their heroes. The South Today went along for a look.
Today, mate, we've got a 10-over game with the Highlanders. Obviously the Volts versus the Highlanders, so it's a bit of fun. Obviously the Highlanders boys are about to start their season, so something just to get the kids around, and obviously we're halfway through our season, so it's a bit of fun.
This season's just around the corner, so it gives our supporters a chance to come along and have a look at the team, have a bit of time with the team, and also a bit of a sponsored day for the Dunedin Wildlife Hospital, which is doing a good job looking after our wildlife around Dunedin at the moment.
If it gets close, we might start taking it a bit more seriously, but at the moment we're just here to enjoy ourselves. Obviously look after the Highlander boys, not injure them or anything. But if it gets close, I'm sure we'll start ramping it up a bit.
I guess when you go to rugby, it's a lot bigger ball and it's not going so fast.
It's a different sport, different skill set. So, you know, but it's good to see that they can you know, bring what they do at rugby into cricket. So yeah.
I was out there for a bit of time and I was quite impressed with Bryn Gatland with the ball. It was quite nice, so maybe he could take up both codes possibly, or something like a Matt Faddis. A couple of those boys look, they're Marty Banks as well, they look good with the ball, so who knows, maybe if the rugby doesn't go so well this season they could chef on the pads.
So we're full on into our pre-season training at the moment. We've got a pre-season game against the Waratahs coming up next week in Alexandra, so if our supporters want to get to that, and also we have a pre-season that we have every year against Crusaders before our season kicks off. I think our first game is February the 15th against the Chiefs in Hamilton, so yeah, we're looking forward to the season kicking off.
Yeah, we've got a 2020 on Sunday up in Auckland, and yeah, then we go into 4 days to finish the season.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. While students are on holiday, Hayward College is a hive of activity as an $11 million refit takes place over the 12-week university holiday period. Dunedin man John Dorr says time was ticking, so he's returned a treasured family heirloom to its rightful owner after 50 years. And one of Cardrona's pioneer couples are being remembered in high places as a pair of huts now bear their names, Bob and Daisy Lee. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Hayden.
Good evening, Holly. What day is it? Are we Monday, are
Monday, start of the week.
Always great to start the week off with some good yarns, and of course the ODT's got plenty of those tomorrow.
I'm sure.
Lime scooters, never far from the news. They haven't been for a long time. I think an important story tomorrow. We speak to a close friend of the young woman badly injured in that accident at the weekend. The friend, on behalf of the woman's family, have got a very important message to send, so I think that's going to be a very interesting and well-read story.
Okay.
Also very interesting is sea drones. So these are sort of drones, but not as you know them, and I confess I knew absolutely nothing about them.
Nor do I.
They look like small boats, small yachts basically. They're a fascinating thing, and we've got an interesting yarn about how these sea drones are finding the Southern Ocean, which of course is an extremely challenging stretch of water.
Ah, that sounds interesting.
Albatross baby of the year, of course everybody's interested. We might have a photo of the first albatross baby. Don't know if it's got a new name as yet, but we should find one for it if we don't.
Okay.
A couple of fires in the Otago region today, one potentially quite big one in Alexandra. We'll have the latest on how big indeed that was. And from sport, a little bit of a yarn with Ricky Flutie, who will be a familiar name to plenty of our readers and viewers. A bit of a blast from the past, has come back to join the Highlanders as a skills coach. So
fantastic.
Good yarn on the sports pages there too.
Thanks very much, Hayden. Sounds like a good mix. And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Tonight's southern view is of cruise ship staff serving passengers on dry land in Dunedin. Looking at the situation, a strong westerly airflow blows over southern districts. Cool today but milder tomorrow, and then some rain likely in most places on Wednesday. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect rain and highs of 20 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim are predicted to be warm with a few clouds, 26 degrees for Nelson, 27 in Blenheim. Expect a warm but cloudy day in Canterbury with 27 degrees in Christchurch, 27 in Kaikoura as well, and 26 for Ashburton. Hold on to your hats in the southern centres. Some strong westerlies predicted. The Catlins, Balclutha, Gore and Lumsden, 16 degrees across the board. A windy one over in central Otago, where freshening northwesterlies and cloud increasing are the main features of the day. It should be 18 degrees in Wanaka and Alexandra, 17 for Queenstown and 15 at the top in Te Amo. Looking at the northern towns now, Timaru and Oamaru are in for moderate northerlies, cloud increasing and 24 for Timaru, 22 for Oamaru. Further inland, Omarama and Twizel are due for strong northwesterlies, rain later and 18 degrees. In Dunedin, cloudy tonight with southwesterlies easing with an overnight low of 11. Tomorrow, cloudy at first, but clearing with sunny periods increasing from early afternoon, becoming warmer with light east or northeast winds, a high of 23 degrees. Warm northerlies at first on Wednesday, but a gusty, cool southwest change during the afternoon with some heavy showers and maybe a thunderstorm, looking at a high of 20 degrees on Wednesday. And in Invercargill, cloudy tonight and tomorrow with showers, fresh to strong gusty westerly winds tending northwest later, rain tomorrow night and an overnight low of 10 degrees. Rain easing to showers from midday tomorrow with strong to gale force westerlies becoming colder, a high of 16. Rain easing to showers on Wednesday and becoming colder with strong gusty southwesterlies, a predicted top temperature of 14 degrees. And that wraps up the South Today for this Monday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz, channel 39.co.nz, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.